Hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome videos. It really motivates me to keep creating content like this.
Hope you're doing great today. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself writing or speaking in English and thinking, how do I connect this idea to the next one without just saying and every time? Yep, we've all been there. Well, today, we're diving into signposting words, and more specifically, the ones that help you add more information smoothly and naturally. These are super helpful in the IELTS writing and speaking sections when you want to build on your point without sounding repetitive or basic. So, let's explore some super useful addition signposting words that'll make your English sound clearer, more fluent, and just more impressive overall. As well as, this one's a smooth way to say not just this, but that too. It's great when you're adding on another action or detail. Example sentence. She's preparing for IELTS as well as working a full-time job. See? It's like giving credit to two efforts at once. In addition, wanna sound a bit more formal and polished? This is your go-to phrase. It's perfect when you're listing out more than one advantage or point. Example sentence. The course offers grammar lessons. In addition, it gives weekly writing feedback. Nice and tidy, right? Additionally. Kinda like in addition, but maybe just a touch more academic. Great for essays. Use it when you're building on a previous point in a smart way. Example sentence. Students get access to mock exams. Additionally, there are one-on-one speaking sessions. OF, sounds solid and well organized. What is more? Alright, this one's a little more dramatic, in a good way. It adds emphasis, like, wait, there's even more. Example sentence. The app is totally free. What is more, it works offline too. Kind of like saying, can you believe that? Another. Super casual and flexible. You can use it when you're adding just one more idea. It fits nicely in both speech and writing. Example sentence. Another great feature is the pronunciation tool. Short, simple, effective. Besides, this one's like saying, and hey, don't forget this too. It works great when you're making your point even stronger. Example sentence. I don't want to go out. Besides, it's raining anyway. It kind of shuts the argument down, huh? Also, this is your everyday, go-to connector. We use this all the time in casual speech and even formal writing. Example sentence. She's super organized. Also, she's really friendly. Easy, natural, can't go wrong. Further, this one's a bit more on the formal side. It often shows up in reports or essays. Use it when you're extending your idea a bit more. Example sentence. Further research is needed to confirm these results. Sounds pretty official, right? To elaborate. This one's like saying, okay, let me explain that a bit more. Perfect when you're about to dive deeper into a point you just made. Example sentence. To elaborate, students benefit from having a structured study plan. It gives your thoughts more depth, like you really know your stuff. Alright, now that we've mastered how to add ideas smoothly, let's talk about something equally important, how to show similarity between ideas. These similarity signposting words are super useful when you're trying to compare two things that are alike. Whether you're writing your IELTS essay or explaining something in the speaking section, these phrases help your ideas flow better and sound more connected. Let's break them down in a fun and simple way. Similarly. This one's clean and classy. It's like saying, this thing is just like that other thing I mentioned. Example sentence. Many students struggle with speaking. Similarly, writing can also be quite challenging. It helps your points feel balanced. Likewise. Another way to say same here. This one works great when you're comparing behaviors or situations. Example sentence. He enjoys reading in the evening. Likewise, his sister prefers quiet time with a book. So polite, so smooth. Just as, so too. Now this one's got a bit more flair. It sounds fancy and structured, great for IELTS writing. Example sentence. Just as regular exercise improves physical health, so too does daily practice enhance language skills. See the rhythm there? It's like a perfect match. In the same way. Use this when you're explaining something that follows the same logic or pattern. Example sentence. Children need encouragement to grow. In the same way, adult learners thrive with positive feedback. It's like saying, this works the same over here too. Correspondingly. Ooh, this one's a bit more academic. If you want to sound smart in an essay, go for it. Example sentence. Demand for online courses has increased. Correspondingly, more platforms now offer flexible learning options. It ties cause and effect in a parallel way. Complementary to this. This one means something fits together really well, like puzzle pieces. Example sentence. Reading builds vocabulary. Complementary to this, listening activities improve pronunciation. It shows how two things support each other. So there you go. These similarity signposting phrases will definitely help you compare ideas more naturally and professionally, especially in the IELTS Writing Task 2 or when giving structured responses in the speaking test. So, let's say you're making a point. Maybe you're explaining a trend, an idea, or even just your opinion. You've got your thought lined up, but now you need to back it up with a clear example. That's where these awesome illustration phrases come in. They're like little spotlights that tell your listener or reader, hey, check this out, here's what I mean. Let's break them down and see how to use each one naturally. For example, probably the most common one, and for good reason. It's super direct and works in almost every situation. Example sentence. Some animals are highly intelligent. For example, dolphins can recognize themselves in a mirror. For instance. Pretty much like for example, but a tiny bit more formal. You can use it in writing and speaking just as easily. Example sentence. Certain countries invest heavily in education. For instance, Finland focuses on teacher training. To illustrate. This one's perfect for formal writing. It feels a bit more elegant. Example sentence. To illustrate, consider how social media platforms influence teenagers' self-image. Great for IELTS Writing Task 2. In particular. This phrase is great when you want to zoom in on one specific point or detail. Example sentence. European countries, in particular, Germany and France, have strong recycling programs. One way. This is nice when you're about to show a method or a clear example of how something works. Example sentence. One way to improve your IELTS writing is by analyzing sample essays. One such. Use this when you've mentioned a general group, and now you're giving a specific example. Example sentence. Many apps help with language learning. One such app is Duolingo. Such as. Super common and very flexible. Use it to introduce a list of examples. Example sentence. Fast food items, such as burgers, fries, and sodas, are high in calories. Like. This one's more casual. Great for IELTS speaking or informal writing. Example sentence. He enjoys outdoor sports like hiking and kayaking. Including. Use this when you want to show that your example is part of a larger group. Example sentence. The course covers various skills, including speaking, writing, and pronunciation. Namely. Fancy alert. This is used when you're going to name a specific thing you just mentioned. Example sentence. Two countries have shown major progress, namely, Japan and South Korea. Notably. Want to sound sharp and highlight something important? Use this. Example sentence. Tech companies, notably Apple and Google, continue to dominate the global market. As can be seen in. This one is great for describing data, visuals, or past examples. Example sentence. As can be seen in recent reports, air pollution levels are rising worldwide. As demonstrated by. Perfect when you're pointing to a specific case or result. Example sentence. Online education is growing fast, as demonstrated by the success of platforms like Coursera. Exemplifies. This is a more formal way to say something is a great example. Example sentence. This case study exemplifies how community action can reduce crime. Very polished, great for writing. And that's a wrap on illustration signposting words. These are your go-to tools when you want to give strong examples and make your point stick in both speaking and writing.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome videos. It really motivates me to keep creating content like this. And of course, never forget the name, IELTS Pro Lab. Now, without any delay, let's move forward.
Okay, picture this. You've made a great point, but now you want to show the other side of the story. Maybe you're about to disagree, or highlight a difference. That's exactly where contrast words and phrases come in handy. These help your ideas feel balanced and thoughtful, which us examiners love. Let's break them down, nice and easy. In contrast. Use this when you want to show a big difference between two ideas. Example sentence. Urban areas are often crowded. In contrast, rural areas tend to be more peaceful. In comparison. This one's great for side-by-side evaluation. Example sentence. In comparison, the cost of living in smaller cities is much lower than in the capital. However. Classic and super versatile. Great when you want to introduce a different point. Example sentence. Technology makes life easier. However, it can also reduce face-to-face interaction. Rather. Use this when correcting or offering an alternative. Example sentence. It's not a weakness. Rather, it's a chance to grow. Conversely. A little formal, perfect for writing. Example sentence. Men often dominate leadership roles. Conversely, women are underrepresented in many industries. Instead. This is short and punchy. Great for switching directions. Example sentence. She didn't take the bus. Instead, she walked to school. Whereas. Use this to show contrast between two related things in the same sentence. Example sentence. Cats are independent animals, whereas dogs need more attention. On the other hand. The classic compare and contrast phrase. Example sentence. Some people enjoy working from home. On the other hand, others find it distracting. Even so. Nice for showing a surprising opposite. Example sentence. He had all the right tools. Even so, the project failed. Otherwise. Shows what could happen if something's not done. Example sentence. You need to study regularly. Otherwise, you might fall behind. Alternatively. Use this when offering another option. Example sentence. You could buy a new laptop. Alternatively, consider repairing the old one. Despite this. Perfect for showing a contradiction. Example sentence. He was feeling unwell. Despite this, he came to work. Actually. This adds a twist or correction, great for speaking. Example sentence. Actually, I don't think that's true in every case. Nonetheless. It sounds formal, but not stiff. Great for showing contrast while moving forward. Example sentence. She was tired. Nonetheless, she kept going. Nevertheless. Very similar to nonetheless, polished and IELTS friendly. Example sentence. The job is demanding. Nevertheless, it's very rewarding. That aside. This one's a bit more casual and great in speaking to change focus slightly. Example sentence. That aside, we still need to focus on the main issue. While this may be true. Good for showing balance before disagreeing. Example sentence. While this may be true, we still need more evidence. And yet. Adds a dramatic twist, great for writing or storytelling. Example sentence. He did everything right. And yet, things still went wrong. Notwithstanding. Sounds quite formal, great for academic writing. Example sentence. Notwithstanding his lack of experience, he performed well. Then again. Super casual and friendly, perfect for IELTS speaking. Example sentence. She might enjoy the trip. Then again, she doesn't like flying. On the contrary. Use this to strongly disagree. Example sentence. You think it's easy? On the contrary, it's one of the hardest parts. There you go. These contrast phrases are like turning signals for your ideas. They help your writing and speaking feel more organized, thoughtful, and persuasive.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome videos. It really motivates me to keep creating content like this.